Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, diving into the one team versus all, utilizing the new legends, but not using the Kizuna Rare Recruit Batch to take on the 10-star event against Alber. I'm going to start it off with a quick variation. And this particular team, it does, like I said, use all the legends from the New Year's banners. So if you guys did get lucky enough to pull all of them, this team could work for you. If you guys are missing one of the legends or two of the legends, I'm going to talk about some replacements as the fights go along. But we are using a friend captain Marco in every single one of these teams. If you guys want to see uploads of other teams that don't use the Marco friend captain and what I sort of put out in my prep videos, please let me know in the comment section below. And while you're down there, belt like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Now, Whitebeard is a fantastic unit. The Kizuna Rare Recruit Whitebeard removes Threshold and Attack Down on stage 2. Very, very effective unit. He works absolutely great. With the only two supports we have on this team are Pudding and the Dendro support. The Dendro support is great for end of turn damage, where Pudding is great for getting around stun. If you don't have Yamato, she's pretty much the most replaceable on pretty much all these teams. She doesn't really do too much, except for like remove bind for the variation that she wants to be on. But because we're not using her as a captain, it doesn't even really matter. She does remove damage reduction. However, Marco also removes damage reduction. So you can pretty much just use Marco when you do see that damage reduction debuff. But there is going to be damage reduction on the final stage, and then Threshold on the final stage. So that's where she does come into play too. But any Dex Strength striker unit is going to work great here. I think Vivi Rebecca is probably your best option as a straight replacement for Yamato. On this final stage against King, we're basically just going to pop all of our specials. We have an attack boost with Roger and Odin. We have defense up and threshold removal with Zoro Sanji. You have chain boundary with the swap of Luffy and Ace, and wham bam, thank you, man. It's pretty simple stuff. Alright, moving on to strength now. Strength wasn't very challenging compared to the final variation, which is Dex, but strength does require you to get around the binds, and that's where Yamato would come into play. But like I said, Vivi Rebecca is just a great replacement there. If you guys don't have Zoro Sanji, a terrific replacement is just Rush Sanji. Utilizing Rush Sanji is going to allow you guys to get a chain boundary effect. Plus, you can use the the Pudding support. If you guys don't have that Pudding support, you pick her up from like Rare Recruit tickets, but any of the Samurais work great on Yamato as well. Zoro Sanji are quite hard to replace on this particular team, but like I said, Rush Sanji is a pretty good alternative. If you guys are using Rush Sanji, you're going to want to find a way to remove the chain growth reduction on the final stage of the Dex variation, but he's just great because he can remove defense up, and that's pretty much the big reason he's here. He can also remove damage reduction, so if you do replace him, you do probably want to find another threshold remover, or save the Whitebeard special because he can remove threshold too. But against who's who on stage 2 of this particular fight, we're going to use our Yamato special just for a little bit extra damage, and to get around the bind and the resilience, we have the Luffy and A special. They're going to burn and they're going to remove binds. The swap of Yamato gives us a few matching orbs, and then we can just easily kill on this particular stage. On the final stage against King, we still have all orbs unfavorable. Our friend Captain Marco is going to give us a full board of tandem orbs, which is super handy. And then to remove the defense up, we have Zoro and Sanji, as I mentioned. Again, Rush Sanji is a great option here. But Vivi Rebecca is another really good option as well. Just like I said with Yamato, they're a great option at removing the defense up. And then just finding a way to bring another unit that can give you the chain buff to help out with those chain boundary effects of Luffy and Ace and Whitebeard. But on this final stage, Marco is going to give us a 2-turn orb boost because there is a intimidation. But if you had enough damage earlier, Roger and Odin would actually give you a 3-turn, which is really, really nice. They're also going to be your attack booster. You can get their you can get their rush off with this team too, because you have Whitebeard and you have an Ace, which works really, really nicely. But talking about replacements for Roger and Odin, the best replacement would be using something like Roger himself. He just completely removes Despair, but you do have Verse Yamato as well, who's another really, really good option. Either of those two work exceptional as your leader. Alright, the final variation is against Dex, and this one is probably the most challenging out of all of them because they really want you to use Whitebeard and the new Exchange Ace, which we're not going to be doing because Exchange Ace is just... no one likes using Exchange Ace. Exchange Ace is poopy butthole. and finding a spot for the strength Whitebeard when we're already using the Dex Whitebeard was a little bit challenging. You definitely can try do some stuff with the strength Whitebeard, or you can just sort of build out non-one team versus alls. And if you guys want to see that moving forward, because we have the new Kizuna team slots, that is something that we can look at doing for the channel, as now that you don't have to worry about changing between teams every time you do a 10-star fight, it could just be a little bit easier to find what you're looking for when you are taking on these particular variations. But on stage 2, there's damage reduction. This is where Marco comes into play. You can't use Marco on the final stage, just be very careful of that. So utilizing him here is very, very good. Using the super swap of Luffy and Ace gives us a chain boundary as well, and with that, we can swap with Zoro Sanji to give us some more matching orbs there. If you guys are using something like Roger as your captain instead of Roger and Odin, you can use the Super EX. That's going to give you guys some matching orbs there as well. You can actually use the Roger Odin Super EX there too. On the final stage, there is Resilience here, and this is where the Dendro support comes in absolute clutch. If you guys are using Verse Yamato, though, you can use the Momo support on Verse Yamato, or if you do some fun stuff with the Super Swap of Zoro and Sanji, you could put the Momo support on Luffy and Ace, and that's going to give you an attack boost as well as an orb buff, because it's an overrideable effect, and that way you can get that end of turn damage there. But hopefully this video helps you guys out in some kind of way. If you pulled all the legends, congratulations, be very, very happy, because they are very, very good for this fight. But this 10 star is an absolute doozy. Stay tuned for some Super Boss videos as well. Obviously, we're doing a lot more content on this particular fight, and the fights at hand, because it's Super Boss season, baby, and the content is flowing. But if you enjoyed the video, bell, like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Late! Oh, be careful of the burn there too.